It's early, hence the hat, but I just saw a text from a client who sent it to me last night asking about what to do when her son, who is working for a small business owner that he loves as a person, but doesn't love their leadership style. What are the options? In fact, from what I understand, the son is even thinking about leaving. You may have been in a similar situation. Working for small business owners is a different experience altogether. I recommended a couple of videos, but I realized after recommending them, these don't really touch on that nuance. Working for a small business owner has its challenges. There are some upsides, of course, but there are some downsides. So that's what this video is about. What can we do when working for a small business owner who we like as a person, but don't really like the way that they lead? Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp, and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. The nuances are not so subtle, but if don't have the experience, it might not be obvious. Small business owners started their small business because they don't want to work for anyone else. They don't like the way other people do it, and they want to do it their own way. This means there's not always a lot we can do about it. There are some options. I'm going to go over 4 or 5, maybe 6 here now, but it is important to realize that's the reason why they have the business. They want to run it the way they want to run it, and it's not likely that they're going to change that. So with that in mind, let's go to the very first option, open communication. If you don't like their leadership style and you don't like them as a person, obviously leave. That's the best way to go. But if you do like them, but don't like their style, go to them and ask them if they would be open for feedback on the way that they lead. That's important. Ask them permission to give them feedback. If we just walk up and offer undesired or unwanted or unrequested feedback, I did a video about this. It doesn't go very well, so start with open communication. After they say, yeah, I'd love the feedback, because small business owners know that they're not great leaders. They want to be better leaders. They want to know how to inspire their employees. They want employees that are going to stick with them for the life of their business. They want people who are like-minded. So open communication is usually desired unless they're completely stressed out of their mind or an egomaniac, then go ahead and leave. But ask them if it's okay to give feedback, and then give them the feedback. Kindly, with humility, gentleness, respect. Let them know how much you like them as a person. Let them know how much you love your job, the work that you do. Okay, start there. Number 2, if they're willing to get the feedback, then offer them a couple of solutions. That means you want to come prepared to give constructive feedback. Not like you know what's best, because you might not. Maybe you don't have a ton of experience leading people either. So do a little bit of research on this and say, hey, look, maybe here are some thoughts that I was thinking. What do you think about these? Instead of saying, you know what you need to do, we want to get rid of need to, have to, should, and must. I did a video on this too, the 4 phases of self-sabotage. Please watch that. We don't want to recommend things that we think that they need to do. How do we know for sure? But we can share with them some options on how you thrive under certain types of leadership approaches that might be a benefit to them. The next one you can do, and this is a little sneaky, but it does work and it can be humbling. Seek their feedback about what you can do to be a better employee. This is really a humble approach to take that might resolve the situation, the tension. Maybe it's something in us that we just don't see that's creating that unwanted leadership feedback loop. It could be, trust me, I've been in this situation. I've told the story way too many times in this channel. I'll just say when I was at GE, I worked for someone that I thought was out to get me, which I did a video about that, what to do when you think your boss is out to get you. But she wasn't. She wanted my best interest in mind, but I was so insecure every time I was around her, I created this negative feedback loop, and it wasn't great for me. So ask your boss for feedback on how you could be a better employee. Maybe even help with the dynamic. Ask your boss for what's the dynamic that I can do to improve the way we work together. The next one is, if it goes into an unhealthy realm, be willing to set boundaries. Just say, hey, look, I don't feel so comfortable when we interact in this way. It doesn't work for me as well. I hate to give you that feedback, boss. I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate you, because I really do, but that's a thing that really doesn't work well for me. You know, that's setting a boundary. That takes practice. It's a little risky, but think it through. Write out your thoughts before going and presenting this to them. I know that they'll ultimately appreciate it when we do it with humility. The next thing we can do is actually invest in our own professional development. Yeah, get a coach. Find out how you can possibly get better at the way you communicate, the way that you hear and see things, our perception, internal dialogue that we tell ourselves. This is huge. So many times the way that we engage with other people, it's based on what we tell ourselves, and having a great coach can help with this. Get some professional development for yourself. Maybe even ask your boss, hey boss, would you be willing to pay for me to get a few sessions with an executive coach? Or boss, what do you think about recommending some training for me to be a better employee? Something along those lines. Yeah, it's kind of like the seeking feedback, but it's a little bit deeper, because this one we can just do for ourselves intentionally. The next one is really hone in on your own emotional intelligence. Yes, you can get this, you will, with a coach. This is one where we want to be thinking constantly about, hey, how am I feeling right now in this moment? What am I communicating when I feel this way? How is my boss feeling? What can I do to observe how they're feeling more quickly? Maybe they're having a difficult time that has nothing to do with me. Maybe they've been in a string for a year of stressful situations. Maybe the company isn't doing as well, and it's affecting them personally, interpersonally. When we really focus on our own emotional intelligence, it helps us see the whole world in a different way. Again, a little offshoot of professional development, get a coach to help you with your own professional development. Document issues. I have been in situations where my clients are like, my boss knows that they're not a great boss, but they're constantly asking us for examples so that they can improve. And we don't really have examples. We're doing our job. What can we do to track examples for them? This is a great thing to do when we come to our boss, to want to give them feedback, be willing to provide them specific examples. Not like a laundry list of all the times that they blow it. That's going to create tension in our relationship. We don't want that for sure. But we definitely want to be able to provide them specific instances. Maybe give one, highlighting the area that you most hope that they can improve. But document it on your own, whether or not that you're going to take them everything or not. Do a quick little document, time, stamp, situational, write a little bit more about it. And then lastly, obviously, consider your options. There are things that we can do outside of the company, ultimately, that means we leave. Because we're considering the options, it does mean we want to let our boss know we're considering our options. I did a video on this as well, when to let your boss know you're looking for another job. Because you care about them, you like them as a person, it is a good thing to do to let them know that we are considering other options. Maybe they feel very heavy and weighty about the people that they've been leaving. Maybe you've noticed other people have left who won't tell them the truth because they like them so much. A subtle way to do this is to just let them know that you are considering other options, just to be kind and polite to them. Now, if you think they're going to immediately want to let you go, then maybe wait until you've got a few of those other options open to you before you let them know, but this is a good thing to do. Lastly, even though I said that was last, it really is important to pray for wisdom. Ask God to give you wisdom. This is James 1:5. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. You can also pray that God allows you to find favor in your boss's eyes before you come to them with these recommendations, wanting to keep open communication, drawing boundaries, etc. This is Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 11, Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 8. Really pray about this. Think about how it will be being in a conversation with them and finding favor. Pray it to God and then go have that discussion. I really hope this is good feedback for you. It's useful. If you try one of these and you found success with it or didn't, please leave a comment below. If there's something that you've tried and done that's worked well, and I haven't listed it here, please leave that comment below as well. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll know when I create a new video. Please also consider becoming a member at Motivationeer.com. Your membership really supports this channel. And don't forget, your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform the world.